So I'm doing this video for anyone who wants to install a pump, a filter, a heater, chlorinator in their above ground pool. This is an 18 by, what is it, babe?
32.
18 by 32 pool. So here's the setup that we did. Starting from the basket, the filter basket, everything's done in 1.5 inches. Because it's such close proximity, there's no need to upsize the pipe. This is a Hayward pump. It's a 2 horsepower pump. It's a dual voltage pump, so it could be 120 or 220, 230, 240, whatever you want to call it. Single phase or 2 phases. So 2 phases, you'll have no neutral, just 2 straight phases. This is on a 2-pole breaker. You got to have it on a breaker, a GFCI breaker. So it's on a 2-pole breaker in the house. This is also on a timer. A little 3-foot cord that comes off it, can't be more than 3 foot. Weatherproof box. Gotta have a switch. You also gotta have a service outlet, which we do right over here. So this is all done in 1.5 inches. There's a union here and a union here. What that does, it enables you to take the pump out if you ever have an issue with it, and you don't have to repipe all this stuff. You can simply pull it out from this union and this union. Take these guys apart, and boop, the pump comes out. In all my research, the biggest thing you want to do is have nice sweeps. Whatever 90s you have, you want as less bends as possible. So if you could use a 45, use a 45. But I decided to use a 90 here. And it's a long sweeping 90. So that's what you want. So like I said, this valve here is an 1.5 inch valve. You buy all this stuff online. You can buy a lot of it at Home Depot. These valves I bought online though. 1.5 inches. And you can see you gotta screw a male to female fitting in there to accept the PVC. That's just a coupling, because I cut out the old pump in anticipation of this one. So you come into the filter. I'm sure whichever pool you get, you'll know the filter coming with it will be suffice. So you come into the filter. Now I want this filter to be able to filter the water with or without my heater. So if I want to isolate the heater, you need a bypass system. And that's what I created here. This piece here enables me to create a bypass system. So it comes out of the filter, comes from the pump, through this line, through the filter, out this line. I have that valve closed, so it's not going that way. So right now it's coming this way. Through this valve, through this pipe, into this chlorinator. It's just chlorinator, same thing you'd have floating around in your pool. Comes up this way, through a valve. This way I could isolate the pool if I ever needed to, which I do all the time when I'm using this. This screws open, so let's say I want to put, it's just chlorine tabs I put in there. And you could adjust the flow by this guy right here. If I want it full, I'll give you a look at it. You can adjust the flow. So like I said, when I want to put chlorine in there, I shut this valve, and that stops the water coming from the pool this way. And I shut this valve. Now it's isolated. Open it up, put the chlorine in there, easy peasy. But what I don't want is I don't want the chlorine, unfiltered chlorine, going into my pool heater. You don't want that. It will corrode everything, mess it all up. So that's what this doohickey is here. This is called a check valve. This allows flow only one way. So how does it work? Okay, so let's say I close this valve because I want to valve in the pool heater. Okay, so I close this valve. So that means the flow is going to now try to come here. That's going to be closed, so it'll stop. So it's going to go this way because I'll open this valve. It'll come down. Once again, long 90 sweeps. It'll go into the pool heater. Circulate, get heated up, come back out, which you could see. Inlet, outlet. Come out, 90 to 90, and here is your check valve. So what this check valve does is it allows flow this way, not this way, only this way. So it comes out, once again, through the chlorinator, and into the pool. It may not be perfect. I built a nice little deck for it, but it works, and it works really great. You know, plenty of glue, plenty of primer. Make sure you everything is solid. When you put all these connections together, you hold them for a minute, well, like 30 seconds, because they tend to pop back. So whenever you're gluing them together, just hold them for like 30 seconds. And these are also unions. So now I could also isolate the heater if I had to work on it. This is a Hayward 150,000 BTU heater, which now since I finished all this, I'm now working on the line. This is a propane heater. And that's my dog bow. And that's where the tank's going to be going. So, this is very involved. You definitely need a professional to do this. You got to size the pipe, and there's a lot to it. But I could answer a lot of questions about it if needed, because I've done a lot of research. Of course, you need this heater grounded. And this heater is grounded to the pool ground. And that's, pretty much it. So if you had any questions, let me know, and I'll try to help you out. But she's running pretty good, man. Right now I have it. Let's see. There you go. She's cranking. So there it is. Oh, just one other thing. This is for your waste. So instead of just hooking up a flappy line going all over the place, I wound up hooking this up really nice with another union. Like I said, plenty of unions, so you could always isolate the pump. I could isolate the filter. I could isolate it by this union coming into here. I could isolate it by this union coming into here. And I could also isolate it by these two unions. So it's not perfect, so I'd like to see what you think about it, but it does the job.